very satisfied Ireland.
So Ireland beating Italy by 36 points to 0 here at the Aviva Stadium. It's 2 wins from 2 in this year's Guinness Six Nations Championship. It's a difficult game to try and kind of sift through, Alan, because yes, Ireland had their moments. They scored 6 tries, job done, but an awful lot to improve on as well. It was a weird afternoon at times.
Yeah, maybe we were expecting too much from this team as well, because I know from playing Italy myself over the years and watching them a lot, they can make it really difficult for you. So to win 36-0 and still the crowd is a little bit quiet, I think we do expect too much, and you expect that was the situation before today's game, the crowd here at the Aviva as well. So there's a lot of good stuff in the game, but I think Shane Horgan said at half time, which was really relevant, about staying a bit structured. If he gets loose and you start throwing the ball around a little bit and expect to run past them, it's really difficult. So I think Ireland lost their structure and shape a little bit, and that's where they profited most, when they were really efficient at their clean outs and their set piece was good. But yeah, probably a little bit frustrated, but I think they'll be very pleased ultimately. Concern about Hugo Keenan, let's hope his injury is okay, but overall I think 6 changes in the team, a lot of good performances from players throughout, but things just broke down a little bit. So I probably look at it from the defensive side, and I know what
Simon Easterby would be pretty pleased, won't he? It's not every day in a Six Nations game or any game against Tier 1 opposition you keep the opposition scoreless.
Yeah, and it wasn't a case of holding them out at any time. They never really got into any good positions, and they couldn't break down that Irish defensive side. So loads of positives, and I think that's what you've got to focus on. I think it's difficult, the emotion of this game for the players themselves, and like I said, that expectancy is there. So I think they'll be overall very pleased with the result and the performance. And it's the same in most sports. If you keep the opposition nil, you can take a lot out of that. So yeah, that was important for them. The line-out was crisp again. That's something we've spoken about previously, where it's creaked a little bit. So there's plenty of positives they can take out of the game. Just a little bit sloppy at times, and maybe a couple of bad decisions on occasions. But to be honest, I wouldn't get overly concerned about that. I think it's a good day out for them.
Yeah, just checking the line-out stats behind me. There's now 26 consecutive line-outs that Ireland have won in this championship. Who stood out for you in terms of the guys who are maybe had more to gain from today's game? I know James Lowe got the Man of the Match award, but in terms of those guys that were involved maybe when little battles around the match day 23, Craig Casey, for example, Harry Bird came on and had an impact. James,
that stuff will please Andy Farrell as well. Jack Crowley being able to move to full back. We've spoken about that before. If something happens to Hugo Keenan, who goes in there? And we've seen Crowley play for Munster a number of times at full back. He had some really big moments. He got a great try himself, Jack Crowley, with a couple of involvements, not just receiving a pass at the end. He had an assist there, did something really special with the offload for the second try, and he'd probably be a little bit frustrated with some of the conversions he missed. They were difficult, the early penalty, but he showed up so much in the game, and he's a really physical player. I think Craig Casey as well, passing was good. Stuart McCluskey, 19-20 carries at centre, and it's probably that type of game we're expecting line breaks and stuff like that, but he just was constantly on it. Robbie Henshaw was really good, and they're players that are not guaranteed starters now, McCluskey, Henshaw, with Bundyaki and Ringrose being the perceived first choice centre. So it was good to see Calvin Nash get a try as well. And James Lowe, he's not a lot of rugby played since the World Cup. He was brilliant tonight. Jack Conan coming into the team as well reminds people how good a player he is, how on it he is all the time. He accelerates into the contact, makes a lot of good tackles. James Ryan worked his socks off up front. So that was really pleasing, and the scrum was really good. I think that's another big positive. Finlay Beelum and Andrew Porter, the two props, were really, really good, and they were good in the tight areas. And so I probably named a lot of players there, but if you look at Beelum, James Ryan, McCluskey, that's the pleasing stuff. The backup players, the players are close to asking questions of the coach and wanting to be in this team. So overall I think he'd be very pleased, Andy Farrell.
Well, thanks, Alan. It's been a really good couple of weeks for head coach Andy Farrell. Ireland are 2 from 2. Next up it's Wales at home, and they are still on course for what would be an unprecedented back-to-back Grand Slam triumph.